What's up, everybody? Welcome to the second edition of the Pod Squad mock draft, round one. And I'm going to be straight up with you. This is the second time I've had to record this opening because as of Sunday, April the 5th, I had this whole video ready to go. And then this mega trade happens, and now I'm stuck with a whole lot of holes in this draft. So I do want to say that this video was made before the Saints and the Eagles exchanged first round picks and then some other stuff. So without further ado, and I apologize for the minor inaccuracies, welcome to the second edition of the Pod Squad mock draft, round one. Let's get it cracking. With the first overall pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Aiden Hutchinson, defensive end from Michigan. This dude is a freak of nature as an athlete. Slot him in beside Josh Allen. That's a great 1-2 punch off the edge. He was the first overall pick last mock draft. Probably going to be the same all the way up until the real draft. So Aiden Hutchinson, number one. You can go ahead and set that in stone. With the second overall pick, the Detroit Lions select Travon Walker, defensive end out of Georgia. Huge splash. This guy's hype is driving up every single day, but it's justified, and the Detroit Lions need an edge rusher. This dude can make a huge impact. Detroit needs it. I like it. Travon Walker, the second overall pick. The Houston Texans with the third pick select Kayvon Thibodeaux, defensive end from Oregon. This guy has always lived up to the hype. He was the number one recruit coming out of high school, went to Oregon, made a lot of headlines. He's always been highly touted as a great prospect, and he's a perfect 4-3 pass rusher. And Lovie Smith, that was his bread and butter in Chicago. This almost kind of seems like a perfect fit, so Houston can't pass up Thibodeaux right here, third overall. With the fourth pick, the New York Jets select Evan Neal, offensive tackle out of Alabama, the most complete player in this draft, hands down. And the best part is you can slot him over to either left or right tackle because they did draft Mekhi Becton 11th overall 2 years ago. So as long as he's healthy, pair him up with Evan Neal, that offensive line is going to be wicked. So the Jets get a huge steal at number 4. The New York Giants with the 5th overall pick take Ikem Ekwonu, offensive tackle out of NC State. This guy's got it all. He can do whatever you need on the offensive line. And let's be real, Nate Solder did not work out with the Giants. So this guy is obviously a big upgrade from that. They got a lot of team needs, but right here, you can't miss on this pick. Ikem Ekwonu, number 5 to the New York Giants. With the 6th overall pick, the Carolina Panthers select Malik Willis, quarterback out of Liberty. There's the first quarterback taken in this draft, and justifiably so. This dude has an absolute cannon for an arm. You've got to get better production from Robbie Anderson because you know DJ Moore can definitely handle it. But this is Matt Rule's last stand. If he cannot garner up a good season, he's out of here. So you got to swing for the fences. Malik Willis definitely is swinging for the fences. So I hope it pans out for him. But that is Malik Willis, number 6 to the Carolina Panthers. With the 7th pick, the New York Giants select Kyle Hamilton, safety out of Notre Dame. This guy has got all the hype in the world, but also, what's up with that 40-yard dash time? 4.7 is not great for somebody who plays pretty much as the safety net for every home run ball. I still think he's got the capability, and definitely New York needs him getting rid of Jabril Peppers. You can pair him up with Xavier McKinney and have a really good safety duo. I'd like to fit Kyle Hamilton to the Giants. Let's see what happens. With the 8th pick, the Atlanta Falcons select Jermaine Johnson, defensive end out of Florida State. Let's be real, if I'm the Falcons, I'll probably trade out of this pick, mainly because Travon Walker was the pick last time that we did a mock draft. But if they choose to stay, that is definitely a team need because I don't need to address the Falcons defense. They did improve slightly toward the end of the year, but Jermaine Johnson is definitely an upgrade. Would have been nicer to have Travon Walker, but I guess this will do. With the 9th pick, the Seattle Seahawks select quarterback Kenny Pickett out of Pittsburgh. We need to figure out what's going on with the DK Metcalf situation first, but if you're going to keep this guy in the system, you've got to get a quarterback. I know that DK likes to defend Drew Lock, but it's Drew Lock. You know, Kenny Pickett kind of feels like he has more to offer. And they do make a big fuss about him having one of the smallest set of hands ever for a quarterback prospect. What does that really matter? Russell Wilson was a small quarterback to begin with. I like the pick. They need a quarterback. Kenny Pickett is the most pro-ready quarterback in this draft. Fire away, Seattle. With the 10th pick, the New York Jets select Ahmad Sauce Gardner, cornerback out of Cincinnati. This dude has got all-pro written all over him as long as he can get better making open field tackles. But if you want a shutdown corner and somebody who can make some huge splashes in the secondary, no doubt Sauce is that guy, and that's why he's the first corner taken in this year's draft. With the 11th overall pick, the Washington Commanders select Derek Stingley Jr., cornerback out of LSU. This is kind of a surprise considering every single receiver is still on the board right now, but Derek Stingley's upside is ridiculous. If he can get past that foot surgery in October, this guy has elite shutdown corner capability. Washington just took a steal with the 11th overall pick in getting Derek Stingley Jr. With the 12th overall pick, the Minnesota Vikings select Jameson Williams, wide receiver out of Alabama. First receiver off the board. You gotta wonder what's up with that ACL and how he's progressing. But if he's healthy, this dude is fast, and that offense in Minnesota can really get moving quickly. This is a perfect fit. You just gotta hope that ACL is okay in time. All right, and this is kind of the time where the draft completely goes off its tracks, because with the 13th pick, the Houston Texans select Drake London, wide receiver out of USC. That's a big riser right there, and it makes sense for the Texans. You got Brandon Cooks as your wide receiver 1. He's smaller, but Drake London is a huge target. He is 6'5". This guy right here, you could potentially make a prototype DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett combination. Davis Mills has to prove himself. That's why I don't take a quarterback right here, but the upside is there with Davis Mills. If you give him a weapon like Drake London, Houston might be able to turn some heads, and you got to get the return on investment for getting rid of Deshaun Watson. Take Drake London, let that offense work in a lot different ways than it could last year. With the 14th pick, the Baltimore Ravens select Jordan Davis, defensive tackle out of Georgia. Everybody's seen what he did at the NFL Combine. He is a freak of nature, and the Ravens absolutely need a run stopper. Jordan Davis is the best run stopper in the draft. It's a perfect fit. No more explanation needed there. Baltimore takes Jordan Davis 14th overall. With the 15th pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select Garrett Wilson, wide receiver out of Ohio State. Very surprised he's still on the board here. You thought the Commanders would have taken him, but the Eagles absolutely jump on this. Jalen Reagor has been a bust for them. You've got to get somebody opposite Devontae Smith. Garrett Wilson is by far the best option right here in the draft. He's got excellent separation. This dude could really do some wonders for Philly. Definitely can improve on what Jalen Reagor did at the very least. Garrett Wilson to Philadelphia. With the 16th pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select Andrew Booth Jr., cornerback from Clemson. The only knock I have against this guy, he's smaller, so the bigger receivers can definitely win that matchup. But outside of that, this guy has got great all-around corner ability. He can shut you down, he can keep up with you, and he can make big plays on the ball as well. Philadelphia is retooling. Andrew Booth makes perfect sense at 16. With the 17th pick, the Los Angeles Chargers select Charles Cross, offensive tackle from Mississippi State. I don't know how the fuck he ended up here at 17, but the Chargers absolutely jump on by far the best player left on the board. He doesn't have to make an impact immediately, but he is going to be on a winning cultured team, and he can take his time. They're not going to rush him. This is an insanely good pick for the Chargers at 17. I really don't know how it happened. With the 18th pick, my New Orleans Saints select Chris Olave, wide receiver out of Ohio State. I am so happy with this pick. This is exactly what the Saints needed. He's got solid route running. This dude is absolutely a perfect wide receiver too, working with Michael Thomas. He's got big play potential. The size kind of will be his only knock, but you've seen it with New Orleans before. Those little guys always make a big impact. Chris Olave has got it. The Saints finally got a great wide receiver too to complement Thomas. I'm happy with it. With the 19th pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select Devin Lloyd, linebacker out of Utah. This is a great weak side linebacker selection. The Eagles absolutely benefit from it. He does have to work on tackling ball carriers in traffic, but outside of that, you've gotten a receiver, a corner, and a linebacker within the top 20. Philadelphia has crushed this draft. Devin Lloyd fits right in. With the 20th pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Devonte Wyatt, defensive tackle out of Georgia. This is great depth behind Cam Hayward. You got to think he's not getting much younger, but this dude does offer some great speed and some pretty good run stopping capability. And quarterback isn't there at the 20th overall pick. So right here, Devonte Wyatt, he's a solid selection. Pittsburgh will appreciate it. At pick number 21, the New England Patriots select George Karlaftis, defensive end out of Purdue. They've been kind of quiet this offseason as compared to last year where they broke the bank, but they do need another pass rusher. George Karlaftis has a non-stop motor, and he could be an every down defensive end in a 4-3 scheme. Bill Belichick knows how to pick him. George Karlaftis works here. It's a done deal. With the 22nd pick, the Green Bay Packers select Jahan Dotson, wide receiver out of Penn State. Boy, do they need one. Honestly, at this point, you might as well draft receiver with your first 3 picks. Devontae Adams is gone. Marquez Valdes-Scantling is gone. Aaron Rodgers needs somebody. Jahan Dotson is definitely the best value at pick number 22. He's kind of a small guy, but he can make some huge plays. And like I said, the Packers need to draft as many receivers as possible. Welcome to Green Bay, Jahan Dotson. With the 23rd pick, the Arizona Cardinals select Trent McDuffie, cornerback out of Washington. You're going to need some corners playing in the same division as Cooper Kupp. But what makes this guy great is he is not scared to make big tackles. And last year, he actually allowed the lowest completion percentage across the entire country. So Trent McDuffie works very well with Arizona. With the 24th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Zion Johnson, interior offensive lineman out of Boston College. You know how the Cowboys are. They're always great with the offensive line. They do have some holes to fill as of late, and Zion Johnson absolutely helps shore up the interior of that offensive line. They're going to need him next year. It's a smart and safe pick. Dallas goes with a guard. Nothing wrong there. With the 25th pick, the Buffalo Bills select Kenyon Green, interior offensive lineman out of Texas A&M. The Bills were subpar from their running back production last year. Josh Allen is obviously great, but if you put in Kenyon Green, he is an elite run blocker. So if they have a feature back or a running back by committee in Buffalo, they're going to be able to do whatever they want behind Kenyon Green. It's a home run pick. The Bills are one of the nastiest teams in football. They just got better. With the 26th pick, the Tennessee Titans select Treylon Burks, wide receiver out of Arkansas. Keep in mind that the Titans did sign Robert Woods as their wide receiver 2 to replace Julio Jones, but their wide receiver 3 is Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. And you got to figure Treylon Burks is going to be better than that. They could have a stacked lineup. Ryan Tannehill will have a bounce-back year. Treylon Burks will be a good contributor. I like this pick right here. With the 27th pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Tyler Linderbaum, interior offensive lineman out of Iowa. He is the best player available at 27. There's a lot of speculation. Will he or won't he fall out the first round? I think Tampa gets him toward the end. You do have Ryan Jensen returning, but you lost Alex Kappa. Tyler Linderbaum could be a good replacement. I think it works in Tampa. With the 28th pick, the Green Bay Packers select Boye Mafe, defensive end out of Minnesota. I love this guy. He reminds me a lot of Von Miller, but they did lose Zadarius Smith to free agency. Boye Mafe is a day one replacement starter. I like his potential. He's got great flashiness. This dude could be a really special player for the Packers. They need to get better on defense too, and if they don't take him, go ahead and take another receiver. With the 29th pick, the Kansas City Chiefs select Kaiir Elam, cornerback out of Florida. This guy can get very physical with receivers. He can wrap somebody up pretty quickly. You got to have that in that division. The AFC West is no joke when it comes to the receivers. The Kansas City Chiefs have to get better on defense if they want to take that division back. This makes sense on a lot of fronts. Kaiir Elam to the Chiefs, good selection. With the 30th pick, the Kansas City Chiefs select David Ojabo, defensive end out of Michigan. We all know what happened. He tore his Achilles during his pro day. How much time is he supposed to miss? That's going to be a lengthy recovery. There's a chance you don't even have any production from him at all in 2022. But he's so good, you can't pass him up too much longer because if you wait, he's going to be gone. I think the Chiefs take David Ojabo and bank on the future. With the 31st pick, the Cincinnati Bengals select Trevor Penning, offensive tackle out of Northern Iowa. It's another one of those how the fuck did he fall to 31 situations, but he is going to need a lot of time to develop himself. But Cincinnati has absolutely retooled completely on their offensive line. They saw what the problem was in the Super Bowl. They've addressed it. If you can get Trevor Penning to develop into a dog like he was in college, Joe Burrow is not seeing the ground. And with the 32nd pick, the Detroit Lions select Lewis Cine, safety out of Georgia. That is the 4th Bulldog taken in this draft. Lewis Cine is good because he can make great tackles and he's got great downhill speed, but he will lose some one-on-one battles with better receivers. But either way, the Lions passed on Kyle Hamilton at number 2. They get a safety at 32, and all is good in Detroit. I appreciate it, everybody. This has been Mock Draft 2.0. 3.0 will come soon, but these videos do take a long time to make, so make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, do whatever you want to do. I'll see y'all next time. Everybody take it easy. I'm out.